Hey guys, morning. Welcome back to Tenacious Butterfly, aka Sasha. Right, so first of all, I need to thank everybody that watched my first videos about how I found out I had cancer. I really appreciate the support. I received lots of love from everybody I know. So shout out to you all because it was nice to get those messages. But also, really importantly, I received messages from people I don't know. And that was kind of incredible, to be honest. They just wanted to know more about my story and they were just glad to have somebody that had been through something similar. And I felt honoured. I felt honoured to be able to give them some hope and let them know that, you know what, there's another side. You can get through this. Cancer don't mean death. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be that. Yeah, you're going to have to make a few changes, but I'll hold your hand through it. I'm happy to. I believe it's my vocation. I believe that's why I went through this journey, because I got a big mouth and the Creator or God knew that I'd have to share it. I'd have to tell everybody. So that's the mission I'm on. And for those of you that have messaged me or liked the video or shared the video or subscribed, thanks. Thank you. Not only for me, but for, sharing it so that other people who really need to hear it or see it get a chance to see it. All right, so today's video is about chemo. You've probably seen from the title. It's a tough video. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy to make this video because I'm going to include pictures of, before the chemo, during chemo, and after I finished the first two cycles of chemo, or first two treatments, of chemo. I want to phrase this right. I don't want to come off like, do you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to tell you. I am, or I was, because I don't think I am as much now, but I was really, really caught up in my appearance prior to chemo, right? It was really important to me what everybody thought of me and how I looked. So when you're told that, you're going to lose your hair, that was a really big factor for me. Okay, that was a huge factor for me. But I don't want to go straight into that. So I'm going to start from the beginning, let you know where we are, right? So if you didn't see the last 4 videos, I'm going to quickly recap in the sense that we were at me finding out, telling my parents, really pissed with my parents and their reaction. And I was meeting with the oncologist on the Monday morning, and this was a Friday. So that Friday evening, I want to say I was still in, I don't know if it was shock, disbelief. I don't know how to describe what I was going through. I hadn't told my kids. I didn't know how I was going to share the news with them. But what I did know is I needed to do research. So I began to research. Websites, books, online journals, anything I could find that had information on Anaplastic Large T-Cell Lymphoma. And to be honest with you, there wasn't tons of it. I kept finding lymphoma, yeah. And I was like, okay, lymphoma. And then I'd read about it and I'd be like, no, I don't have Hodgkin's lymphoma. The lymphoma that I have is non-Hodgkin's. So as I researched and kind of started to focus in on non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, what I found out was there were 60 or more different types available with literature on that online. And it was confusing and I was getting overwhelmed. And I just wanted to know if I was going to survive. I just wanted to know how to fix myself. And I was just, when you are, I was desperate, I think. I needed to find a way to fix myself. I wanted to rely on myself to make it better. And so I did loads of research, like I was doing some sort of university assignment. I had notes. I was like scribbling everywhere. I had post-it stuck all over my mirror in my bedroom. Like I was studying like I was cramming for a final exam. And I wanted to be equipped before I went to see the oncologist on the Monday. I wanted to come to him firing questions. I wanted to be so knowledgeable that he wasn't going to be able to fob me off. So yeah, I was adamant that I would find a cure for myself, right? Through knowledge. Anyway, during this time, and I hadn't mentioned it in my last videos, and I don't know why I didn't, but it maybe because I was just so focused on giving you the insight into how I found out. But prior to me finding out, I'd already known that something was up with my body. I just hadn't figured out what it was because of the lump. But I was also having some lesions. So lesions are kind of like little rashes that come up on your skin. Now, as I said earlier in this video, I was very caught up with what my appearance looked like. So obviously having lesions popping up here and there, or rashes popping up here and there, was a big no-no for me. And I'm like, what the hell's happening? I've got clear skin. I can't be walking around like this. This is not me. What is this? And so that was kind of a driving force as well into me figuring out what the hell's wrong with me, what's going on. And I began to watch YouTube. I didn't even watch TV at that time, I'll be honest. I was fascinated with YouTube, and I was particularly fascinated with a lady. You could check out her YouTube channel. Her name's Nubia Ice Sutton. And I would watch her religiously because she was kind of talking about alternative health at that time. She was a raw vegan or a raw foodist. And she looked like me. She was black. So that resonated with me too, because I hadn't found any others that were kind of, a black woman. And she talked about the struggle of black women too. And I found her interesting. I'd never studied black history. I didn't profess to be someone that was knowledgeable in that. I didn't learn that in school. So the fact that she talked about that too was kind of like intriguing. And I was really interested in her, and I followed her and watched her. She had like 300 videos on YouTube. So you can imagine, I binge watched. And so I watched her videos, and she talked about raw veganism, and it inspired me. And she talked about diseases and how diseases could be cured through the food that you eat. And, I was kind of like, yeah. So I started doing green smoothies back then. And my green smoothies consisted of kind of banana, apple, and kale. Right? And as I continued to watch her, I incorporated a little bit more. I wouldn't say I was raw at all, because I was still eating loads of starches. But I was giving myself a bit more nutrition in the form of green smoothies, right? Anyway, that weekend, I digress here. I went all the way in telling you about that, but there's a reason, so just bear with me. So that weekend, as I'm doing all this research, I started to watch some more of her videos. And it's like her videos were aligned with exactly what I needed at that time. There's a saying, and I'm a real true believer of this saying: when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And for me, throughout this whole journey, as we go through and I walk you through it, you'll notice that I've had multiple teachers, and they've all appeared at the right time when I've been ready to digest the information. So going back to that weekend, I was studying, and I thought, you know what, I need to take a break. And I stumbled across one of her videos, and I was watching it, and she was talking about the power of spirulina. And, it's an algae plant that grows in the water, but it has so much nutrition and so much, healing powers. And I thought, I'll do that. I'm going to buy some spirulina and I'm going to start drinking that. Yeah, I'm going to heal myself naturally. So I got on this natural tip of, I'm going to heal myself naturally. I'm going to go to these appointments and hear about this, this treatment they want to give me. But you know what? I'm not going to go down that road. I'm going to heal myself naturally because, it can be done. I know it can be done. And I think I articulated it to Cerise, maybe, and I'm not sure who else. I'm not sure if I spoke to my dad, because I wasn't really a fan of him at that point. So it might have just been Cerise at that time. Cerise, my sister-in-law, and I remember saying to her that, you know, I think I could do this naturally. I've been doing, you know, some raw vegan food, and I've been doing green smoothies, and I don't think I need any drugs. I think I could heal my own body. And bearing in mind, I didn't have the knowledge at that time. I had minimal amount of knowledge, but it kind of made sense to me at the same time. So, and I didn't really want to lose my hair. This was the motivating factor. I didn't want to lose my hair. So I was kind of like, you know what, I should do it natural. I should go down this road and be natural. And so I said it to Cerise, and she was like, what about the kids, Sasha? What about Azam and Atia? What if you do this natural thing and you don't survive? What about your children? And that was scary. That was a fearful moment for me. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do the drugs. I'm going to go to the appointment, and I'm going to hear what they have to say about the drugs, and I'm going to take the drugs.